Hello, sports enthusiasts, fans, and pundits. Welcome to SOUQ Sports. And of course, in the next 45 to 50 minutes, I'll be bringing you up to speed with what's happening in the world of sports. Yes, I am the top cat. Yep, TC Barra. Now, we are on the verge of the commencement of the MPFL. It feels like we have a date finally, and seeming sacrosanct. I'll bring you up to speed with that. And of course, games that happened yesterday, there are going to be games today. And of course, the news trending at the moment is the announcement of 23 players. But then, I don't think that trended as much as the announcement of a new head coach. And that's where we'll be starting off from this episode of the show. Well, let me let you know that the NFF announced 23 players, a squad for the upcoming 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying matches, and that's against Benin Republic and Rwanda. The Super Eagles squad now includes 3 goalkeepers. Of course, I mean, it's like the usual thing to have options at the back or between the sticks. So 7 defenders, 6 midfielders, 7 forwards. Bendel Insurance goalkeeper Amas Obasoye makes a return along with South African-based defender Oli Sanda, as well as Nottingham Forest Taiwo Awoniyi, who hasn't featured for the Super Eagles since the 1-1 draw against Lesotho in Uyo, dubbed the Nest of Champions. And yes, that was the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign in November last year. Now, they are scheduled to face the Cheetahs of Benin Republic, that's the Super Eagles, at the Nest of Champions, the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. That's going to be on Saturday, September 7th, before they travel to Kigali, Rwanda, to play against the Amavubi at the Amahoro Stadium on Tuesday, 10th of September. That's 3 days in between those games. All of the invited players expected to assemble in Uyo on Monday, 2nd of September, ahead of the games. That could be their first meeting with the new coach, Bruno Labbadia. So I was having a conversation with a senior colleague of mine today, and of course we had Baba Bayo Olaye there, and the conversation was tilting towards, would Bruno Labbadia, who has just taken the job of new head coach of the Super Eagles, be in the dugout? Well, we'll just be finding out on the 7th of September, because it feels as though he didn't have a hand in the selection, the team selection. We'll be putting out the complete squad list on our social media handle, SOUQ News Television. So you need to head over there and leave your thoughts. Tell us what you think about the players who have been selected. Of course, they'll be led by Captain Trustekong. So back to the initial conversation. Is it Bruno who put off this list? Because he just felt like it came at the same time. His announcement was in the morning, and then in the evening, the 23-man squad list was released on the social media handle of the NFF and, of course, the Super Eagles. So, but then here are some 10 things you need to know about this German ex-international Bruno Labbadia. First and foremost, he is currently 58 years old. He was born on the 8th of February 1966 in Darmstadt, West Germany. He played as a striker for 8 different clubs in his footballing career, and that includes playing for Bayern Munich, Werder Bremen, FC Cologne, and made only 2 appearances for the German national team. As a player, Labbadia recorded 103 goals in 328 Bundesliga games across his career, including 50 games for Arminia Bielefeld and 44 goals for his hometown club, Darmstadt 98, which was his most successful season as a player. And that was 1998 to 1999, where he scored 29 goals for Arminia Bielefeld. Bruno Labbadia did begin his managerial career with Darmstadt 98, and that ran, from 2003 to 2006, spanning 3 seasons. And Labbadia has gone on to manage several German clubs, including Greuther Fürth, Bayer Leverkusen, Hamburger SV, VfB Stuttgart, VfL Wolfsburg, and Hertha BSC. He last managed VfB Stuttgart between the 2022-2023 season, and he is the 6th German to manage the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And that's after Karl-Heinz, Matsoske, Gottlieb Gola, Manfred Herner, Betty Vogt, Gennaro Rohr. Well, Labbadia also has a UEFA Pro license coaching qualification. Despite being German, His parents are originally Italian, but then he decided to switch his allegiance to Germany, which is his country of birth. So, would you technically call him an Italian or a German, despite switching allegiance? Okay, so at the age of 18, his desire to play for the Diamond the German machine, was rife, and he is the 37th head coach in the history of the Nigerian national team. A lot of questions have been asked, a lot of questions have been raised, a lot of the conversations are going on in various WhatsApp groups, in various social media platforms. But then, we have an array of players with goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali in Chippa United, South Africa, Madiko Okoye, who flies straight for Udinese FC, Amos Obasanjo, who has just recently been called up from the MPFL, and then William Trustekon, captain, who is with Saudi Arabian side Al Kholod, Bright Asai Samuel from Fenerbahce, Turkey, Olisanda of Orlando Pirates, Bruno Onyemachi of Boavista FC Portugal, and then you have Ajayi, who is playing with West Bromwich Albion England, Calvin Bassey, Fulham FC England, Olaoluwa Aina of Nottingham Forest England, Wilfred Ndidi, who plies his trade with Leicester City, and of course Rafael Onyedika with Club Brugge in Belgium. We have Alhassan Yusuf Abdullahi for New England Revolution, that's a club in the MLS, United States. Fisayo Dele Bashiru of Italian side Lazio FC, Frank Onyeka of Brentford FC in England, Alex Iwobi, who is with Fulham FC, and then we have Samuel Chukwueze, AC Milan, Italy, Victor Osimhen. Well, still undecided where he is, but he's still a Napoli player in Italy at the moment. Kelechi Iheanacho has recently moved to Sevilla in Spain. Victor Boniface, Bayer Leverkusen, Germany, should not be a stranger to coach Bruno Labbadia. You have Moses Simon of FC Nantes in France, Ademola Lookman, who has been very prolific, I must add, with Atlanta FC in Italy, and of course Taiwo Awoniyi, who is making a return back to the team, who plies his trade for Nottingham Forest. So all of these players, Bruno Labbadia has to ensure that he takes us back to those great days where we played from the wings, we scored without giving respect to whatever team that we had on the other side of the pitch. But then, on the brighter side, or on the sunny side, you might add, the MPFL, we hear, ahead of the new season, has increased the salaries of match officials in the top flight by 50%. So Benga Elebele, who is the league's chairman, made that announcement, and he says the idea is to ensure free and credible officiating in the league. Now, we have negotiations also underway to secure air transportation for referees and players, because, I mean, what usually happens, I'll tell you, is a referee is supposed to handle a game in a particular state. It becomes the responsibility of the state FA, the State Football Association, who goes to pick him, who goes to ensure that he gets the right accommodation, and then he's going back. They also say thank you for coming, and you know how that pans out. So there's a bit of sentiment. The human side to it gets to play out. And the opponents, especially when they feel, what's the word I'm looking for? When they're not very satisfied with the outcome of the game, so they feel some foul play has happened, especially when they are not aware how the referee got to the pitch, how he's leaving, where he's sleeping. So all of these, I feel, can be run by the Nigerian Referees Association. It should be independent, of any of the various football FAs. So a referee doesn't have to call an FA representative, the secretary or the chairman, to say, I'm in your state. You should just come with the match commissioner, make sure you're at the stadium at when security is provided, accommodation is provided, and we have, an atmosphere which is actually, what's the word now, without any form of sentiment or affinity to either of the teams that are playing on that day. Well, let's really backtrack now. Like I mentioned, the 31st of August feels very sacrosanct as defending champions Rangers will be playing El Kanemi Warriors as we commence March day 1 of the MPFL 2024-2025 season. So we are not sure if that is going to play out, because it feels like these transfer seasons have not closed, and yes, the MPFL has not put out a very strong statement, but then we're just a few days away from the 31st. We're going to monitor and see how that pans out. start talking about that game between defending champions Enugu Rangers and El Kanemi, who recently crashed out of continental engagement, having gone on to represent Nigeria in the CAF Confederations Cup. But then I bring you team news. The captain of Rivers United is set to join second division side Al Sadd club in Saudi Arabia. And upon arrival, he was welcomed by the club's first team supervisor, Mohamed Al-Dasari Wangwa, which is his second name, is expected to sign a one-year contract with the club after spending 3 years at Rivers United. And he assumed the captaincy of the club at the beginning of last season. While still talking about movement of players from the NPFL, Victor Ozo Okeke, former Golden Eagles midfielder, has joined Allsvenskan champions Elfsborg of Sweden, and that's from Triple 44 Academy in Nigeria. 18-year-old signed a 5-year contract with Elfsborg following an impressive performance at the Wafubi Under-17 Championship in Ghana. He joins Ibrahim Buhari as the second Nigerian player at Elfsborg. In the NPFL as well, Eimba have completed the signing of Ismail Sarki from the Benin Arsenal side, Bendel Insurance. Sarki was the top scorer for Bendel Insurance last season, registering 7 goals in the NPFL. And it feels as though chairman of the club, talking about Kanu Wankwo, and the new coach, Olarin Raju, have got their eyes fixed on scoring or banging as much goals as possible because of the number of strikers they've been poaching from various NPFL clubs. And that's to say, we are looking forward to what they would put out in the performance. And of course, all of the teams, especially right here, Lagos, Nigeria, Ikorodu City FC will be in the NPFL. And trust that we will be bringing you highlights of the games, backroom conversations, special interviews, post-match, pre-match, all of that on the show, SOUQ Sports, right here, once the league commences. And yours truly will be out there to ensure that we bring it to you right here on the show. Right about now, I'd love to let you know, on a sad note, that Nigeria's first ever Olympic medalist, Nojim Mayegun, passed on a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. He became visually impaired a few years ago, and he was reportedly battling an unnamed illness for a couple of months. He was the very first Nigerian to win an Olympic gold medal. When he was 23, he won a bronze medal in the light heavyweight boxing category at Tokyo 1964. In the second round of that competition, he defeated Great Britain's William Robinson in just 1 minute and 59 seconds, a remarkable feat in amateur boxing. He defeated Tom Boggs of Denmark in the quarterfinal before losing to France's Joseph Gonzalez in the semifinal. Mayegun and Poland's Joseph settled for bronze. 2 years later, in 1966, he won another bronze medal at the Commonwealth Games in Kingston, Jamaica. Say, may his soul rest in peace. Well, speaking further will be Dr. Oladipo, who is the President General of the Nigeria Supporters Club, worldwide. Nigeria Supporters Club Worldwide President General Dr. Oladipo came by the studio and we had a beautiful chat. He spoke about the new coach of the Super Eagles. He spoke about the players. He spoke about supporting Super Eagles. He went on to speak on the performance of players of Nigeria descent at the Olympics. And of course, he also talked about the local league, NPFL. And it was a wonderful conversation. And I'll be bringing you excerpts of that conversation right here, right now on the show. Stay tuned.
Well, here we come again. Our league is not strong enough to compete with other leagues, even in Africa. Take, for instance, go and see what is being done in Morocco. Go and see what is being done in Senegal and other countries. Well, the composition of the Nigerian Premier League, I'm not against this because they have the rules guiding them to be elected into that board. But what is most important is that how many of the Nigerian teams have the required prerequisite to run football clubs. As we speak today, maybe 3 of the 20 teams in the Premiership can boast of something like a field or 2, an hotel where you camp your players. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. The other teams are governments. And football is business. Government, yes, have responsibilities. But when it comes to football, football don't wait. You must have people who are genuinely interested in the development of the game. And when you are interested in the development of the game, you are equally interested in the development and growth of our youth. I don't think all these government clubs have such. You must have a field, you must have an academy, you must have an hotel where you put your players and train them on a daily basis. Is it the government teams that has no base, no field, no hotel, that when they play a match now, they go back to their homes? Okay? We need to develop this game. We need to invest. We need to realize that football is business. It's not a pastime. It's not what anybody has. We are going to play football. No. Put your money in there, invest there, and at the end of the day, the result will come. Until we start doing that, even all these other athletes. Now we've gone to the Olympics, we didn't win anything, not even a spoon. But we are going to the Paralympics, and I believe the Paralympians would definitely do something. The day we were sending off the Paralympians, quote me, the Paralympians were there at the NIS. Aside from the director of the NIS, the Professor Mourns was himself, some professors from the Unilab, from Lazio. How many government officials came from the ministry? I was there live and I was given an award that day. So it is something we have to embrace. If we must win, if we want to win, let's plan to win. But you are going for competition, when you don't plan for it, the result will be failure. And I don't want us to continue like this. God bless Nigeria. First and foremost, I got the news the way you got it. And immediately I got it. What will I say? The appointment for the Super Eagles coach has been long overdue. We had Passero, who took us to the Cup of Nations, and we came second by winning the silver. For whatever reason, he left the job. And then we appointed somebody who acted as an assistant coach to him, that is Finidi George. After which, about a month or so, there were grumblings between the NFF and the coach. And so, for whatever reason, Finidi George also resigned his appointment. Since that time, we have been expecting the Nigerian Football Federation to appoint a new coach until just yesterday when this announcement was made. Well, for us as Nigerians, we need a coach. Even though it has taken too long a time, and so short time to our qualifiers, particularly the African Cup of Nations and also the World Cup. We felt it was late, but you never can do without a coach. A coach must be appointed for the Super Eagles, and that's what they have done. His pedigree, not everybody knows it. He played football is a German. He has played for his team, his country. But we don't know how many and which clubs has he ever coached. With that as it is, he has been appointed. What is left is for Nigerians to cooperate with him, support him, support the Super Eagles. You see, for me, I've been in football for 49 years of my life. Every minute of the last 49 years, I've been involved in football. A situation where the Nigerian Super Eagles will not go to the Cup of Nations will not be a very good thing for this country. A situation where we'll be missing out of the World Cup of 2026 will not be anything good for us. So what we need to do now is to cooperate, support Labadia, support the team to win their matches, and then qualify us for those two competitions. Well, let me start with the Nigerian Football Federation. They appointed Labadia. They need to support him. They need to give him a free and even the fairest hands for him to tinker the team. There should be no dictation. Give him the job, leave him to do the job. When you give the masquerade a goat, you leave the rope, give it all. Let him take the team and do the needful. Not dictating to him, this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. If you have appointed him based on your conviction that he is the right coach, give him the necessary support to do the job. Secondly, it requires all of us as Nigerians, not just the supporters club, all of us as Nigerians to support the coach, support the team. Of course, the Nigeria Football Supporters Club is an outfit that goes out there and we regard them as the 12th player of the team. Because when the players are playing, only 11 of them on the field. The supporters club are on the stands, singing, jumping, cheering, drumming support for the team. And I think ever since, many players, the likes of the chairman Chuku, Sheikh Modagbami MON, Adokia Mesimaka, down to the era of Stephen Keshi, Rashidi Yakini, down to the era of Okocha, Finidi, Kanu Wanko, and the rest. They understand the supporters club. The supporters club will sing, they will drum, and the players will play according to the rhythms and the dictates of the songs dished out or being dished out by the supporters club. And they play so well that whenever we sing a particular song, they know what is expected of them. That was why they were winning in those days. Today, it's very unfortunate. The one club, a united club, that goes out there, I mean the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, that goes out there to all the countries of the world, not just in Africa, all the countries, be it Europe, America, Asia, everywhere. This club is a group of people regarded as the 12th player. And they are showing not just beating the drums, the resilience, the sportsmanship, the patriotism in them to show the world that this is a group of people who are committed to the cause of Nigeria. They use their time, they use their money, even at the risk of their lives, to the extent that in 1994, this supporters club was adjudged to be the best in the whole world by FIFA. In 1996, we were adjudged to be the best. In fact, in 1996, I was called back to America for an award for the leadership and advancement of Nigeria because we don't lose our heads. We believe that the game of football is either won or you may lose or play a draw. But we never, up to tomorrow, lose our heads, even if the game is not going our ways. And that was why FIFA took us to say, this is the best group. When you look all around the world today, the painting of faces and bodies in the colors of the countries where you come from started from the Nigerian Football Supporters Club. Really? And that is what everybody around the world is emulating. At a point in time, they were not believing that you could bring drums to the stadium, you will injure other people with those drums. We told them that it is not. So when they saw the way we were doing it, the FIFA and every other country, including CAF, started allowing drummings into football because it is entertainment. You will see the supporters club will energize the crowd. They will energize the fans. And most of them, even when they come into the stadium, what do? They come to stay with the Nigerian Football Supporters Club, even though they are not Nigerians. They be dancing and they be singing in Nigerian way. So this team or this group of people is a group that should be appreciated. Unfortunately, I have told you, nobody funds us. We fund our projects by ourselves. I go out there with some of my members to seek for sponsorship from companies and private organizations. They give us money. When the money is not enough, I will go to my personal purse, bring out money to support what we are doing. And some of the members too, we support by bringing some of their money.
Doc, there's a bit of factionalization.
I'm coming to that. That's where, the factionalization was brought about by the NFF, who never saw the reason why the supporters club should remain one. At a point, we had 57,000 members across the world. In all the countries of the world, we have offices, chapters, and the rest. For your information, the first international chapter of the supporters club was put in place in Cote d'Ivoire in 1992. Who would have thought that Nigeria will be going back to Cote d'Ivoire in the year 2024? But it took somebody's ingenuity to take the supporters club and launch a chapter in Cote d'Ivoire in 1992, from where I moved to other countries of the world, Ghana, Gambia, Togo, America, Brazil, all over the world. And the club remained one. But at a point in time, the then NFF came to say yes, supporters club could be fragmented into several groups. And I told them that will not work. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different supporters clubs in a stadium, and this one is singing GCK, the other one is singing Babako Baashe, the other one is singing different tunes. What will the players listen to? At a point in time, the captain of the team, Ahmed Musa, came out to say they don't want these different groups singing, that rather than encourage them, it distracts them. And I told the NFF that it is wrong for us to have different groups. My brother, let me tell you, when they were to go away, to be fragmented, spearheaded by the NFF, only 13 of them left. When they left, within 6 months, they broke into 4 different groups. How can that work? Now the NFF is now realizing the consequences and the gravity of what they have done. But in spite of that, sir, those of us in the Nigeria Football Supporters Club, has been one. It remains one. Those who left, we are still encouraging them to see that our job is national. When you are going out to support the team, we should go there in unity and with one voice, with one mind, we support the teams to success. I hope that will continue to be. You see, unfortunately, when this thing happened, some people, excuse me, some people felt, yes, there was need for us to come back together under an umbrella. But they don't have the political will to do it. Because in the first instance, they fragmented it. How did they bring it back? So they found it difficult to bring them back. But we know what we want. Our job is to support Nigeria. Our job is to support the national teams to success. Because it is football, and only football, that Nigeria can be proud of. When you go out there, we talk in different tongues, but when it comes to football, every other country of the world wants to listen. And so they recognize this person. They recognize the Nigerian Football Supporters Club. So it will be very good for us to have this group come together again and do what they have been used to be doing those days. That was making us to win. Don't forget that this man was the flag bearer. In 1980, when we won the first Cup of Nations, I was the one carrying the flag. I brought the players from the tunnel into the field. Don't also forget that this same man was national chairman when we went to Tunis in 1994 and we won the Cup of Nations. Also, to the World Cup of 1994, where the Nigerian team was adjudged to be the 5th best in the world, and the Nigerian Football Supporters Club was adjudged to be the best in the whole world. Don't also forget that I was the leader of the supporters club that went to Atlanta before we could win that Olympics medal. And on and all and all. In 2013, I was in South Africa with my group. When everybody didn't give us the chance to beat Cote d'Ivoire, I was the only one that believed that we will beat Cote d'Ivoire because I dreamt that we will beat Cote d'Ivoire. And I called all the Nigerian journalists in South Africa to tell them that the Super Eagles will beat Cote d'Ivoire because Cote d'Ivoire was the best, the most dreaded team in Africa then. You had the Kalum brothers, Touré brothers, you have Didier Drogba and others. They were so tough. 2 days of the match, they had written us off. Super Eagles, when you are leaving your hotel, carry your bags and baggages. After the match, just go from there to the airport. But it wasn't so. I had already dreamt that we were going to win, and I called all the Nigerian journalists. They can attest to that. I've told that story severally. And I told them we are winning. What happened? We won. Then we went ahead to defeat Burkina Faso, the final, and we lifted the trophy again. So it is nothing. We are not collecting money from it, but it's the passion that we have and the love that we have for Nigeria that has been driving us. If it were money, we would have made a lot of money. Sepp Blatter, let me say this, and Jack Warner came here and said, Dr. Ladipo, export your talents to the world. You are potential billionaires. That is to tell you how much they regarded us. First and foremost, I need to pay tribute to the following hero of Nigerian sports. The late Najim Maegun, the first medalist at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. That was the first medalist. He died 2 days ago at the age of 85. So for this, I want us to appreciate the man, Omoloja, we call him in those days. He won the first Olympic medal, a silver medal, in 1964. The man died. Can I tell you This man was never given a national honors and any award. See how we treat our heroes and heroines of sports in Nigeria. Maybe now if anybody is thinking of giving him an award, it will be a posthumous award, which is not expected. People who have done little or nothing for this country, name them, look, go through the list. They were given national honors and awards. But people who have given us good image, positive image for this country, they were never considered. Now, the Olympics of Paris, well, some of us knew that it would be like that because the system failed to prepare our athletes for the Olympics. We only went there to compete. How can you compete with those people who would have trained their athletes for 4 years, and you want to beat them? You will only prepare your team 2 months to the Olympics. And there is a country that has been preparing their athletes in the last 8 years, 6 years, and 4 years. Don't forget that Olympics takes place every 4 years. What we ought to have done is this plan to put in place a team that will represent us and make us all happy and proud. But we took 12 billion to the Olympics to compete. When you fail to train them, when you fail to put a system in place that will make you go to win, you just carried money. And what was the result? Zero. I am saying now that if Nigeria wants to make a meaningful impact at the Olympics or any other competition, preparation is key. You have to prepare. Now another Olympics is coming in 4 years' time. I don't think we have any plan now to prepare the athletes. We will also go there again, 3 months to the Olympics or 2. You can't win. A country of 190 people, 190,000 people, a country lose there, won the Olympics in the 100 meters. A country of over 200 million. Did we prepare the athletes? And the athletes who prepare, what did we do for them? They use their time, their money to be able to do it. In 1996, we won the first Olympic medal in long jump. Chioma Ajunwa is a deputy commissioner of police, retired now. How? He was prepared by a single individual for years. And that was Chef Modebami, MON. And when she did that, fortunately I was there. She did that jump and she won the first Olympic gold medal for Nigeria. Then the team, the Kano team in football, we should ask ourselves, how did they win? We prepared them. The 1993 Golden Eaglets were kept in my hotel for free. I will be the one to drive them to the stadium at, what is this place? Volkswagen playing ground. Because the national stadium was not good enough. I bought an American 18-seater air-conditioned bus. In the morning, I would drive them to the training, bring them back to my hotel. In the evening, the same thing. They left my hotel to the Japan, to the 1993 World Cup, and they came back as champions. They moved from there. They went to Atlanta. The teams we are preparing, we are presenting now, do we prepare them? We don't. I think this country has no respect in planning for tomorrow.
It was great having Dr. Oladipo on set, and of course, many thanks to Baba Bayo Alaoye for making that possible. And so we've been talking about the Olympics and its after effect, and we're looking at the Paralympics with games coming up tomorrow. Well, in the women's singles SL category, the group play stage, Group B would see Nigeria's Bolaji take on India's Kaur at 9:30. And in Group C, group play stage, you'll see Nana Jeremiah take on Adam of Germany. In tennis, mixed doubles round of 16, Failonye and Alabi will pair up to face Peng and Huang of Japan, while that's the round 2. Round 32 would see Twami Stacy take on Alabi and Obazoye of Nigeria. Meanwhile, Britain's Dan Evans produced an astonishing comeback to win the longest match in the US Open history as he beat Russian's Karen Khachanov in the 5 hours and 35 minutes. Evans, who is 34, was 4-love down in the decider, but somehow found the mental and physical strength to win. In the intense final, Russian's 23rd seed Khachanov saved 2 match points before hitting the third in the net. Evans broke into a beaming smile before slumping exhausted into his chair, and both players deservedly received the standing ovations from an engrossed and entertained crowd at the packed outside of the court of the Flushing Meadow. So great sporting activity, that we saw there. Both the British number ones, Katie Butler and Jack Draper, moved into the second round after contrasting styles of victories came their way. Butler seeded 31st, fought back from an edgy start to win 5-7, 6-2, 6-1 against Belarusian qualifiers, Sasha Novic. A short time later in New York, 25 seed Draper cruised through when Chinese number one Zhang Zizhen retired with the knee injury as the Britain led 6-3, 6-love, 4-love. But fellow Britain Emma Raducanu, champion in 2021, lost her first round match to Sophia Kenin. Now, let me let you know that Chelsea officially confirmed the signing of a 19-year-old, and that's Belgian goalkeeper Mike Penders from KRC Genk. The announcement of Mike Penders' signing comes as Chelsea prepares for UEFA European Conference League second leg playoff against Sevet tomorrow. Penders, however, will be remaining on loan at Genk for the current season and expected to join Chelsea next summer. So congratulations to him. But still, before we move on, let me let you know that Arsenal announced the signing of Spanish midfielder Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad. That was earlier today. The 28-year-old Spanish midfielder has signed a 4-year contract, 1, 2, 3, 4, as the Gunners, which comes with the option to extend that contract by an additional 12 months. Newly promoted side Ipswich have sealed an £8 million signing of Luton winger Chiedozie Ogbene. The Ireland international has signed a 4-year deal at Portman Road and becomes their 10th signing since they returned to the Premier League. Well, we also do have Owene, who has also played for Cork, Limerick and Brentford, joined Luton from Rotherham on a free transfer last summer and impressed in the Premier League despite the haters' relegation. All right, let me bring you up to speed with what happened in the La Liga real quick. Dani Olmo scored the debut winner just hours after finally being registered for Barcelona as Hansi Flick's side came from behind to keep up their winning start to the La Liga. He rejoined Barca from RB Leipzig for a reported 60 million euros earlier this month, but could not play because of the Spanish top flight's strict financial rules. But then, after Ike Gundogan was released back to Manchester City and defender Clement Lenglet had to move to Atletico Madrid, the 26-year-old was able to feature at Rayo Vallecano. Barca top La Liga after playing 3 games, and they are the only side with a 100% record. Unai Lopez gave the home side an early lead, which they held until the hour mark when Pedri played a fine 1-2 with Rafinha and tucked in Olmo, who was at Barcelona as a boy but left for Dinamo Zagreb at the age of 16 without making an appearance, stole the point and the headlines with his fantastic finish. Well, yesterday we also saw games in the La Liga, of course. It was Mallorca and Sevilla who played out a goalless draw. Today, in the La Liga, Atletico Club against Valencia would have Real Valladolid against Leganes, Atletico Madrid against Espanyol, and then Real Sociedad against Deportivo Alaves. we'll be wrapping it up because we do not have time. And so before I go, I'd like to bring up to speed with some stories in the business of sports. Of course, you can't talk sports without talking business, and business is sports. And that's what we are about right here. Sports business is what it is. Okay, so Inter Milan's new sleeve sponsorship deal is with a cryptocurrency, as they are, trying to see if they could take advantage of the cryptocurrency surgence, which has made a strong presence in Italian football. So that signals its intent, to retain domestic media rights to the national team matches. Of course, Australia's Matildas and Socceroos would also be expanded on that level when it comes to, sponsorship. Spain's La Liga has maintained the value of its media rights in MENA following its renewal with Ben Media Group and a non-exclusive deal in Iraq with streaming services 1001. We'll be wrapping things up. That's the much we can bring to you right here on SOUQ Sports. Of course, we're counting down to the NPFL, which is the 31st of August. And the first game that will be played will be between Enugu Rangers, the Flying Antelopes, against El Kanemi Warriors. But in Lagos, Ikorodu City FC will be representing Lagos State in the MPFL, and we'll be rooting for them. Like, I can't stop, talking about it and what we intend to, showcase to you from the MPFL right here on this platform. But then the games between Kano Pillars and Ikorodu, which is going to be the first game for the Oga Boys, will be happening on the 7th of August, of September. All things being equal. That is, if the league organizers do not change the dates for whatever reasons, so it's going to be the 7th, and we'll be doing our best to bring you up to speed with how that pans out. In as much as that first game is going to be an away fixture for Ikorodu City FC. My name is TC Barra. I'm the Top Cat. Many thanks to you for watching. We'd want you to go to our social media handle. Tell us what you think about the show. Tell us what where you think we can get better. And of course, if you want to be a part of the show, you also have to put it in the comment section. Check on your screen. You see our various handles. Follow, like, share, and engage. I really love to hear from you. All right, so many thanks to you for watching, like I said. And of course, to those who are behind the scenes, ensuring that you can receive me crisp, loud, and clear. I mean, you guys rock. Until I come your way again, stay true to the dial. I love you from the bottom of my heart and to the bones.